Former foreign policy advisor to the Trump campaign, Carter Page. Carter, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Jake.
In any of these conversations with Russians, either in Russia or back here in the United States, did you ever suggest to any of them that President Trump, or candidate Trump, would be open to easing sanctions on Russia?
Absolutely not.
Never? Not once?
I never offered that. No, nothing along those lines. Absolutely not. I mean, it may... Topics, I don't remember. We'll see what comes out in this FISA transcript. It's
well,
nice
you know what you did.
Well, I don't recall every single word that I ever said, but I would never make any offer or intimate anything.
But you did, in fact, meet with Sergei Kislyak there.
I'm not talking about any meetings that I had there because I learned confidentiality rules when I served in the U.S. Navy, and I'm sticking with the commitment that I made to the organizers that I would be, keep it an off-the-record meeting. So I'm not going to talk about individual discussions or people I may or may not have met with.
Okay, so USA Today has reported this. You're not going to confirm or deny. I have to say, though, 2 weeks ago you were with Judy Woodruff, and she said, "Did you have any meetings? Any meetings last year with Russian officials, inside Russia, outside Russia, anywhere?" You said, "I had no meetings, no meetings."
No meetings related to those issues which were being brought out, or she was asking about, which was another front page New York. I can't remember if that was.
Wait a second. I just want to be clear. You're now, when you said I had no meetings, no meetings, you are now amending that to say no meetings relating to the issues specific to what Judy Woodruff was talking about.
She was specifically talking about the investigation, which I believe came out that same day or the day previous.
Have you ever conveyed to anyone in Russia that you think President Trump might have been more willing to get rid of the sanctions that were imposed against Russia after they invaded and seized Crimea?
Never any direct conversation such as that. I mean, it's...
What do you mean direct conversation? I don't know what that means, direct conversation.
Well, I'm just saying, no, that was never said, no.
Can I just be totally honest with you here for a second? You know, there's this pattern here where everything in context, you can tell me like, yeah, I met with Sergei Kislyak, I was at this thing, and there was a bunch of different ambassadors. There was one from Germany, and we talked, and there's no smoke here. And that may have been true about Michael Flynn talking to Sergei Kislyak, and it may have been true about Jared Kushner's meeting, and it may be true about Jeff Sessions. Yeah. But there is this pattern, which you appear to be part of, in which there's this kind of like bizarre dissembling about the basic facts of the matter. But I'm just asking you straight up, like, just for a straight answer, you're saying I can't confirm or deny. USA Today's reported it. You told one reporter I had no meetings with the Russians. Now you're telling me I had no meetings with the Russians about the things they were talking about. I'm just trying to get a straight answer. Like, did you meet Sergei Kislyak in Cleveland? Did you talk to him?
I'm not going to deny that I talked with him. Although
so you did talk to him.
I will say that I never met him anywhere outside of Cleveland. Let's just say that much.
The only time that you met him was in Cleveland.
That I may have met him possibly, it might have been in Cleveland.
But it sounds like from what you're saying, it's possible that you may have discussed the easing of sanctions.
Something may have come up in a conversation. I have no recollection, and there is nothing specifically that I would have done that would have given people that impression, George.
But you can't say without equivocation that you didn't discuss the easing of sanctions.
Someone may have brought it up. I have no recollection, and if it was not something I was offering or someone was asking for.
Were you guys on email chains together, you and Papadopoulos?
Look, there's a lot of emails all over the place when you're in a campaign.
Right, but yes or no, like, were you in email chains with Papadopoulos?
Probably a few, yeah.
Were you in email chains with him about Russia?
It may have come up from time to time. Again, there's nothing major, yeah.
Well, I mean, nothing major. It was enough for him to lie to federal investigators about and then plead guilty to, that he was having an intermediary come to him and saying, you should come to London and talk to someone who's got Hillary Clinton's emails.
Yeah. And any conversations about those emails that were stolen from the DNC, from the Clinton campaign, any conversations about that?
Not a word.
Not once?
Not once.
Absolutely positive?
Absolutely sure.
One of the matters the FBI is investigating, as you know, is whether any advisor to the Trump campaign at any point discussed the release of the hacked and phished and stolen documents from the DNC and from Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta. Did you ever discuss any of those documents?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Did you ever discuss?
No advance warning. Yeah, I mean, people may have mentioned it after it came out, but or alluded to some of the findings, but no direct discussions. Absolutely not.
So how can you be sure you didn't talk about that, but you're not sure you didn't talk about easing of sanctions?
Well, that is, I mean, that didn't happen until a couple of weeks later, I believe, during the DNC. I never directly briefed Donald Trump. I was part of a named committee, which was put together.
So you were part of the committee that advised the campaign.
That's a fair.
Okay.
Yes.
What did you do in that role and capacity?
You know, similarly, I don't like talking about internal discussions. It's the old first rule of Fight Club: you don't talk about Fight Club.
Do you remember Papadopoulos telling people back then in the spring, Putin wants to set up a meeting, I can set it up, they're coming to me about Clinton's emails? Do you remember those?
I know nothing about emails. Definitely nothing. I heard nothing about that.
No, but there's a direct question on this particular thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember Papadopoulos emailing about this stuff?
There were tons of emails happening on a lot of different things.
So
I definitely
could have been on them.
I might have been, you know.
You might have been on them.
In thousands.
So
of
here's my
emails
question,
I get,
though.
But I definitely didn't hear anything on emails. So.
Gordon said Page and Kislyak, that's you and Kislyak, spoke at some length about how to improve relations between the two countries on issues like counterterrorism and energy security. Carter told him we should have a new chapter of U.S.-Russian relations that build on mutual respect and common goals, and that there is no need to keep up this hostility, Gordon said. Is that true?
I don't recall that conversation. There were brief interactions at receptions.
That's not a brief interaction.
I never had any.
But you say it was a casual hello, how are you? And at the same time, you said you made a deal at the end of the meeting. It was off the record.
No, that was the deal from the beginning. Everyone in that meeting was.
I never shook hands with somebody and had them say this handshaking's off the record.
No, everyone in that meeting, it was agreed that it would be off the record. Yes. Yeah.
How was that agreement struck?
Well, it was
somebody
announced
said
at the beginning. Yeah, at the.
And who made the announcement?
I actually came in late, but that was speaking of the organizers.
And who were the organizers?
I forget their yeah.
You went to Russia, but you are confident that the footnote about sending a low-level staffer is not in reference to you.
I definitely did not represent anyone from the Trump campaign during that my trip.
But that's different.
I was busy working on more important things today. I haven't read the sort of fine print. But what was read to me, it doesn't sound like it has anything to do with me. Because again, I never was representing myself, and I never
as part of the campaign. I know. Yeah. You have cooperated with the FBI, and you gave 5 hours of testimony to Senate Intelligence Committee.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to a more open hearing with Congressman Himes and the rest of the House Intelligence Committee.
I genuinely hope, Carter, that you are innocent of everything.
Definitely.
You're doing a lot of talking.
Well, I'm hoping
it's either admirably bold or reckless, but I guess we'll find out. Thanks for coming by.
Great to see you, Chris.
All right, Carter Page.